Hey everybody, it's Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video and getnoticedwithvideo.com. So we're going to talk today and do our live. There's a lot going on. I'll say that, and I just needed to take a quick breath, and probably you too. But now more than ever, people are looking for ways to get referrals, to find out if they should or shouldn't purchase from an entrepreneur, a business owner, a business, whether it's brick and mortar or you're someone who is running a digital experience like I am. People are looking for social proof. And so I want to talk a little bit about a forum called Testimonials. That's a form of social proof. And you're probably familiar with what testimonials are, but the question is, what can I do to get more video testimonials? So that's what we're going to talk about in our session today. This is our weekly live stream. We like to come on every Monday. That's our current schedule. Mondays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. There's my friend Marie. It's good to see you. I know that there are others that are going to be joining us. And while they do, I'll go ahead and play my short intro video and I'll be right back to talk about what can I do to get more video testimonials. So here we go. And we'll be live in just a second. All right, everybody, again, welcome back. My name is Tanya Smith, and this is Get Noticed with Video, and I'm just thrilled to be here with you this evening. I know that there is a lot going on, and I'll have a few words to say towards the end, but just know that I am thinking of you, and I appreciate all of you who have reached out. I shared a very personal post in the last 24 hours. Usually it's not something that I do, but I did so on my own Facebook personal page, my personal profile. But if you need to see that and you need to consume that information, I'll be sure to share that with you. Just a thought about what we're dealing with at the Smith household and many other Black and Brown families are dealing with too, as we're experiencing what we're experiencing. As a matter of fact, it's not just us, it's everybody across this country who is experiencing things in a way that maybe we haven't had to for a while. It's the truth coming out. So Marcia, hello. Stacy, hi. Good afternoon, Virginia. My friend Maria is here. Thank you so much for showing up. And we're going to talk a little bit about video. For those of you who do not know me, I teach, I share, I deliver practical tips and strategies to help service providers to be able to use and leverage video, especially on-camera video, to build your social influence across the internet space. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And there's my Natalia. Hi, beautiful. And so here's what we're talking about. We're talking about or answering the question of how do I go about getting more video testimonials? But before we do that, I need to dive into a couple of really quick definitions. So here's what we're going to do for tonight. I'm going to share a little bit of some thoughts and some background information and experience around gathering of testimonials. If that's something that you really want to know how to do more of, then put a raised hand or just click a like or something for me on this live video, because I'm curious. I want to know if that's been a struggle for you, because testimonials have definitely been a struggle for me over the years. You can do all this work and provide such wonderful quality service, but if you don't ask for the testimonial, oftentimes your customers will leave. They enjoyed it. They'll tell you that they appreciated you, but then you don't get to leverage that information for that social proof that I mentioned. And we're going to talk about what social proof is in just a second and what the testimonial means to you and to your business. But if you've struggled with that, I want to know, because for me, that has been a struggle. I forget to go and to ask for the testimony. And so that's super important. Hey there, Miss Smith, the other Miss Smith. All right, so here we go. Let's talk a little bit about And I have some slides that I'm going to bring up, but I also want to share with you some tools that I found to help you get better with your video testimonials. But I'm going to pull these slides up first. Before I do that, let me make sure I mention this. If you want to get a reminder when we go live, just type remind me in the comments and you'll receive a quick message if you're here on Facebook. So if you're on any of our other platforms, you won't have that luxury. You should probably come over and join our Facebook group that we have active called Get Noticed with Video VIP. So I'll share those links a little bit later on. But first, I want to make sure I'm sharing my screen. That is what I'm attempting to do. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and I'll pull it up big so that you can actually see these letters. So the question is, what is a testimonial? And so many of you already know the answer to this, but I wanted us to be on the same page. So when we're talking about a testimonial, we're saying that this is a form of written or spoken social proof that helps to trigger something called conformity bias, which is also known as the bandwagon effect. And the reason why this conformity bias thing is so key is because when you think about marketing, really all of marketing is about psychology, whether you know that or not. Now, my major in college was psychology. That's what I have my bachelor's in, and then I have my master's in business. But it's amazing to really kind of go back through some of my books and studies and see the connections that you can make to marketing. And so conformity bias, this bandwagon effect, is all about our tendency, as you see on the letters here, tendency to take cues for proper behavior in most contexts from the actions of others. And it is something that we are seeing in the moment, right? In our cultural moment outside of and beyond our businesses and our marketing right now. But specifically to the testimony and the testimonials that you're gathering, what tends to happen is that people really hinge their opinions and their impressions on what others have said and are saying about you and about the experience that they're having with your business. And so testimonials tend to be proof to them that you are who you say you are, that you deliver what you say you deliver. And there are different types of testimonies. So solicited would be the ones where you're asking for the testimony. You're asking for someone to actually talk about you and praise and give you feedback in a positive way. They also allow you to really provide some structure. So let me say hello to my friend Misty. Yes, Misty. So we're talking about different types. So solicited, these to me are the hardest ones, right? These are the ones that I forget about because, or in the past, let me reframe this. The reframe is these are the ones I'm getting better and better at as we speak. And this is the reason why I wanted to touch on this topic, because I believe that many people in my own community, in my circle of influence, needed this too. I needed it. So I studied it so that I can know for myself how to get better. There's my friend Ty. Hey, Miss Ty. So we're going to get better. And so solicited are the ones where you're asking for the testimonial and you can provide some structure, right? When you ask, it's not just, hey, would you mind giving me a testimony? There's a little bit of some additional tips that I'll share with you on that. But the unsolicited ones are my favorite because you don't even ask. It's just that you've delivered such high quality service. You've given them so much and you've made sure that people know that you are excellent at what you do to the point to where they just give you that recommendation, give you that positive feedback, give you that testimony, unsolicited. You haven't asked for it at all. I love those. I do. But they do not allow for as much structure as the solicited ones do. So know that there's those two types as you're thinking about testimonials for your business, two types that you could potentially experience. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about are the criteria for a really good structured testimony. When you're asking for the testimonial, I used to do this, and I don't know if you've done this too. So just, if you have, again, raise your hand or say yes in the comments. Yes, me too. But there have been times in the past where I have simply just said, hey, would you mind leaving me some feedback? And I cannot think of which coach it was, but it was a mentor of mine in the past that told me one day, never just ask for feedback because you never know what you're going to get. Now, if you truly want some constructive critique, let's say that you've delivered a course or some type of training or a webinar or something, and you really want some constructive critique that will help you to do better, which we all do want that, right? You can leave it broad and generally ask for feedback. But if what you're looking for are praiseworthy text or verbal content that you can use to promote your business and to use as social proof, then what you need to be careful of is that you're asking for a positive testimonial. And so I got super clear instead of just asking for, can you give me some feedback? Even the form that I used to use, the link that I would use would say, TanyaSmithOnline.com/feedback, and then getnoticedwithvideo.com/feedback. But what we're really, if we're trying to be purposeful and intentional about collecting social proof, what we really want is for someone to give us a positive testimonial, right? So now what I have learned is to ask for the testimonial. And there's 3 criteria. One, I want it to be short and direct. So I want it to be something where if people are reading it, especially if it's written, they're not falling asleep as they read through it and not getting to the good stuff. Give me the good stuff and let's make it clear and concise. So it's going to be quick. And so when I'm sharing tips and sharing with people, you are a genius. Thank you. When I'm sharing with people that I would love to have their testimonial and it would help me to promote my business so that I can do more good in the world, or so that I can share with someone else the experience that they've had. When I ask for that, I ask for them, I make sure that they know it doesn't have to be long. I would love if you would just keep it short and concise. But the second criteria or piece of criteria is that it should focus on results. And so if you're asking people specific questions, you can ask them things like, in your testimonial, would you mind sharing a little bit about the impact that this experience has had on your business? What has it done for you? Ask them real clear questions, right? Set them up for success. Don't just leave it as a blank slate. You can, but offer to them that, you know what, if you're struggling with what to say, here's a couple of questions that may help you, that may guide you, right, with your testimony. And so you ask questions like, again, how did the experience impact you and your business? In what way did it improve things for you, right? Because then you begin to get really clear numbers, you get metrics, you get a vision of what it is that that person experienced, and you're sharing that. That social proof becomes way more powerful than simply saying, I just enjoyed working with Tanya so much. She was great. Okay, that's great. And I do love those. Don't get me wrong. And I want those testimonies too. But when you're proactively seeking to collect social proof, you want social proof that's going to help people to see themselves in that seat, right? So the third and final criteria, so it's short and direct. You want them to be clear on their results, and then you want them to be truthful. Okay? To be truthful, to be authentic, to say something that doesn't sound like it's a recording and like you gave them the script. You want it to be honest and from their heart. So be careful that you're feeding them. Don't feed them what to say, but draw out of them what it is you want to hear about their personal experience. So I see a couple of comments, and Virginia says she normally gets a video from customers, which is awesome. That is perfect. And video is wonderful. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to focus on video. Yolanda said, that's right. Yes, on results. And my friend, Dr. Dorsey, good stuff on testimonial. I've requested for products and services, but didn't think to do so for videos. Yes. Whatever it is that you deliver and you do, if there's a way that you can ask for testimonials and do so, because look, they don't owe it to you to give you a testimony. But a lot of times the number one reason why people don't give you one is because you failed to ask. And now that I know that and I get it, I'm doing better, right? So for those of you who are watching right now, if you have struggled in the past with getting and asking for the testimony, I want you to say with me, I am getting better at asking for testimonials every day. I am getting better at asking for testimonials every day. And the more you do this, the more this is going to help to promote your business. And it's going to do so in a way that will really, truly launch you. It's going to give other people an impression and a perspective about you that you can't give for yourself, right? Because of what we talked about, the confirmation bias. All right. And so Marie asked a really good question. I've been looking for the question someone had told me to ask. Do you have specific questions to ask? Actually, I do. And look, I'll share those with you in just a few minutes, Marie. Eric says you don't get what you don't ask for. That is absolutely on point. If you're not asking, you're not going to get it. It's just unlikely. And it's not because they don't love you. It's just sometimes they forget about it. So, a couple of things I think you want to make sure that you do is to definitely, I love that you put that statement up there, Yolanda. I want you to make sure that you are doing so in a timely fashion. Certainly, you can reach out right now if you've been struggling with this like I was. One of the things you can definitely do is you can reach out to past customers and clients and tell them, be honest with them. In the past, I didn't do a good job of collecting testimonials, and I really want to take my business to the next level. I would be honored to invite you to leave a testimony for me, right? So let's see. Ty said, I started asking people when they express something positive during a session instead of at the end of the project. Yes, 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 yes. Whenever the iron is hot, as they say, whenever they're thinking about it and they're in the moment and they're like, oh my God, this was such a great coaching experience today. You know what? I would be honored. In fact, here's what I do to just give you a little tip. When I send a summary of my coaching session with a client, in that summary, within the first few lines, I'm always going to say, I would be honored if you would leave me your positive feedback or your positive testimonial. I scratched the word feedback. I'd be honored if you would leave that at this link. So now what I'm going to do is actually share with you a couple of tools that I use that you might be able to use in your own business, especially specific to video testimonials, but some of what you can also use in other formats. And Victoria said she will replay to catch all the nuggets from the start. I'm also going to convert this into a blog post with a lot of different resources for you. And I'll have Marie, to your question, some of the questions that you should definitely be asking and thinking about. Yes, you did, Misty. Misty, you were one of my very first video testimonials. You and Emily Wong were my two very first lovely video testimonials just for getnoticedwithvideo.com. And I so appreciated you doing that. Thank you for being a tool guru. I can't help myself. I'm just kind of a nerd that way. All right, so let's talk about these tools. And then again, I don't want to forget to come back and give you a few questions, but I'm also going to add some questions. I'll add a list of questions that you can ask inside of the blog post that we're going to turn this live stream video into. Speaking of that, repurposing your content is something you should always keep in mind. We're going to be hosting a brand new class called Repurpose Your Live Video that's coming up at the end of June. So I will make sure to share that information with all of you. And starting next week, we have a free 10-day challenge that we're going to be doing in our group. It's only for our group. Yes, Misty. Yes, it was wonderful that you did that for me. I promise you. Okay, let me add my shared screen again. There we go. So great resources. So here are four. I started out with three, and then I was like, man, I need to share one more with you. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me escape out of this slide deck, because what I really want to share with you are the actual pages. So I'm going to kind of blow this up so that you can really get a feel for it. So now on my website at getnoticedwithvideo.com, there is a testimonials page. You'll see this at the very top of my bar because I wanted to really start getting targeted and focused on how I receive and review or ask for, if you will, video testimonials. And I wanted to showcase these on my site. And so I have links to various videos. These are two that were recently done by LaFern Beatty and Pat Flowers. Pat, I know you're on live right now, so thank you. And I also, whoops, in that same area, sorry, I didn't mean to switch it from that. In that same space, have an opportunity for people to schedule a free discovery call to learn how I can work with them in their business, because these two testimonials on my website are focused on sharing the experience that these folks have had with my business and my coaching. And then at the bottom, I have written ones. So like Victoria said, some who don't want to do a video, I ask for an email and use it as their quote. So absolutely, there are text-based testimonials that work just as well. And then there are video-based testimonies. So I have a mixture of both to kind of give you an example. This is called a wall of love. And let me show you how I did this with the tools that I use. So the first tool I'm going to share with you is called Endorsal. And so let me blow this up, or I'll share my face a little bit so I can kind of talk to you about this. So endorsal.io. And I think that my affiliate link is tanya.click/endorsal.io. But I'll make sure that I add that to the comments at the end, as we usually do with resources, okay? So Endorsal basically gives you the opportunity to create your own video testimonial page. And so I'm going to pull this up a little bigger. So when I mentioned that I do that email and I share with people, hey, I would love to invite you to leave a testimonial. I'd be honored if we could use your feedback or your social proof, etc. This is the link that I send them to most of the time. And I have different links that are created for different purpose. So this one is the generic testimonial link that people will be sent to. And as they add their information here, and let me show you how this works. I'm just going to put my own info in here. It's pulling their gravatar in. It should. We'll see in a second if it does that. And if it doesn't, then you can upload a picture right here. Let me see if I can get it a different way. Video.com. Oh, you can sync it. Sorry. You can sync the image by using any one of these profile links right here. They have the opportunity to do that. They can add their company information, their position, their rating, and then give their thoughts. So it's a super clean way to be able to get the testimonial. It looks highly professional. It's gorgeous online. And then what you're able to do is basically use the testimonial that's been entered into that form. You can use that on different sites. You can even give them the option of sharing it on their own through Facebook and Google. They're adding LinkedIn at some point here soon. But there are lots and lots of different ways that you can collect the testimonial and then use that by using an embedded code in your blog or on your social feeds. So they just opened up a new tool called Review Marketing, which has been really interesting. In fact, let me see if I can kind of show you one of the Review Marketing tweets that I have. I think I did one on Twitter. Let's see. Type it in there. So Review Marketing, what that does, because I've set up a link that goes to people who have watched a webinar, people who've taken a course. There's all kinds of ways, and I won't spend all day on this. But in my Twitter, what you do when you do Review Marketing through this tool is it will automatically, let me pull this up a little larger, schedule out tweets that have your testimonials that have been added into the Endorsal tool. So automatically put a note that is thanking people. And so I've set this up on a schedule. We'll see how it goes because I just found out that they had this week. But Endorsal has been amazing. Now, this is not my video testimonial tool, but there's something I want to show you. And let me pull this down real quick so I can actually pull it up for you. something I want to show you about Endorsal when you use it and you use the endorsal forms, because here's the thing, they have yet to actually include video, but they're working on it. It's part of their strategy right now. Yes, I love it too. I love that it schedules things out, right? So you make that part of your normal social content flow. But let me show you this. Here's what I wanted to show. I'll pull it up right now. So now what I've done inside of my endorsal is I've added a link. So it says choose a star rating below with 5. This is after a webinar. 5 is the highest. You can also share a testimonial in a video from your phone. Now, what's going to happen here is when they click on it, I'm going to open an incognito window. Most of the time, our people are using their mobile device, their phones. Okay, so this is going to look really pretty on their phone. Maybe not so much on desktop, but what it does is it gives them a really neat way that they can actually leave a quick video, right? So the 2 videos that you saw at the top of my testimonies page, I got from using Video Peel. Video Peel, P-E-E-L. And that's the next one I want to show you. So Video Peel, here's what it's called. And again, I'll share my affiliate links with you all. I'll try to do so right after we get done. Video Peel allows you to create an account. I just, again, bought this from AppSumo. So I paid a one-time fee for this. I think that it still may be available. So you'll want to check over at appsumo.com so that you can get the lifetime deal. But I paid one fee for this. And they do have monthly subscriptions if it's no longer available. But what this specifically will do is give you an option that's super easy for people to leave their video testimonial. So they're going to end up going to that page that I showed you right here. This is going to pull up on their phone, and it's going to take up all the space on their phone, but give them a button where they can record or upload a video. So I've got a note here that says, introduce yourself, share your business. What did you appreciate most about your experience? There's one of the questions for you, Marie. What did you appreciate most about your experience? How did this change or transform your business? Would be another follow-up question. But I tried to keep this simple by letting people know, be as specific as you can about your results, and most of all, have fun. So all they're going to do is click that record button, and then boom, they've recorded a video testimonial that I can then use across different platforms on my website or wherever I choose, because they've basically agreed to the terms of use, which basically say that I'm going to be sharing this video. And so I want them to do their best, because here's the thing, not only is it a win for me, but it's a win for them too, because I get to promote them, their position, and their website. So keep in mind, this is not just about asking for yourself and being selfish. It's a win-win situation whenever someone leaves you positive, constructive testimonials. Okay, the third and final tool that I think I will share, actually it's the fourth tool, because I shared Endorsal, I shared Video Peel, and I shared, what else did I share? Oh, there's another one. I almost forgot. Video Ask. Video Ask is something that I just recently found out about. Let me show you this. It's also on my page. So let me pull that up real quick here. So see, notice here at the bottom where it says talk to me. And it looks like a video of me talking, because it is. In this video, I'm basically asking people to leave me a question. If they have a question about the website or want to meet, I'm giving them instructions on how they can do that. But you can also use Video Ask as a means to be able to collect testimonials. I don't use it for that purpose since I have the other tools I mentioned, but you'll want to check that out too. They do have a free version, which has so far worked for me just fine on all of my blog pages. So I love that. You have to check that out. Go to getnoticedwithvideo.com. You'll see it at the bottom right. The final one that I do want to share with you, and I've shared this one with you previously, is called Dub. And so inside of Dub, what you can do is basically record a video, install or upload that video into Dub. You can even use their own recording tool. I just prefer not to. And then you're going to have a button that you give them. It's a call to action button that you add to your page that says send your video testimonial. And so in this short video that I'm sharing with them, I'm explaining why I would really appreciate their feedback. So this is just another way to collect video testimonials, is by using the Dub app. So I know I've gone over a lot of stuff and we're right at 30 minutes. I've lost a few people, but I know you'll come back and take a peek and see some of the tips and the tools. But I hope this has given you some ideas. So Marie, I gave some ideas on questions to ask. I'll make sure to be committed to putting more inside of the blog post that will be over on my website within the next couple of days. So I'll make sure that everyone gets that link along with these other resources. I love it. This is priceless. Always leaving feeling smarter. Thank you. I love, love, love. And Misty, yes, it is so right. It's a win-win when you collect testimonials. So please don't feel like you're being selfish by asking. You know what? You might be missing an opportunity to hear important feedback that can help you to be better, to improve your business. Because what if they do have something that is useful for you to know? And maybe it's not positive, but it is something critical that you needed to change or to update. So always ask, ask, ask. I mean, you can always choose, Arlene, you're welcome. You can always choose whether or not you're going to publish the testimonial if you use methods like this. Otherwise, if people go out on their own and give you a 3 or a 2 rating on your Facebook page, you can't really do a whole heck of a lot with that. So guide the process, I guess is what I'm saying. Look for ways to guide the process. So the only other thing that I'll leave you with is this. I would invite you to definitely come out and hang out with us in the group, because we're going to do some amazing things. I have a real focus on nurturing and creating a group, a community where people are mastering the art of on-camera video, specifically to help them with the rest of the marketing that you do for your business, and so that you can provide that stellar, excellent service in whatever industry you're in as a service provider. And we also want to remind you to just type in remind me if you would like updates before we go live. You'll get either a text message, depending on what you choose, or a Facebook Messenger message. Thank you so much for spending your Monday afternoon again with me. I love your questions and your comments. If you do have questions that I missed, forgive me. I will be checking through the comments afterwards to make sure that I addressed anything that we might have missed. But just know that I appreciate you and I want to thank you. And again, for those of you who are suffering and you're struggling with what's going on in the communities around us throughout the United States, just know that my prayers are with you. It's been really difficult in my household to have those conversations with my daughters over the past few years, because it's not that this started just a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's been going on for a long time. So I would love to, if you need a listening ear, I love to be that ear if I can. And if you would like to read my post, feel free to let me know. Shoot me a quick message and I'll send you a link to my personal post on Facebook. But I just want to send some prayers up for everyone who is, and we all are, even if you're not Black or brown, we all are struggling through this together. And we have got to find some real solutions and take some actions other than simply just sitting and saying we get it. Now it's time to take some intentional and purposeful action. So I plan on doing that. All right. I will see you all next time. And thank you again for showing up. I appreciate you. We'll see you for the next Get Noticed with video live Monday at 6 p.m. Central.